Hello and welcome to The Human Element. My name is Nicole Wales. I'm the founder and managing director of Human Tribe and your host for the Human Element series. Today we're here to talk about how to manage your people and have a performance review discussion. So often at Human Tribe, when we're working with businesses that have an employment issue, an employee issue, it boils down to the fact that that employee wasn't managed or potentially held accountable. And often, for whatever reason, those all-important performance discussions didn't take place. So when we talk about our topics today about managing our people and having this performance discussion, it can be a preventative measure to make sure these employee issues don't surface. But it's so much more than that. If you're truly about being a human employer, part of that has to be managing your people, about holding your people to account and getting comfortable with those uncomfortable, sometimes uncomfortable conversations that need to take place. I'm really excited to introduce you to our two guests today who are both very experienced in the field of human resources. First of all, we have Jodi Paton, the General Manager of People, Performance and Culture at Hoyts. Welcome, Jodi.
Thanks, Nick.
And we have Vanessa Morley, the Group Head of Talent of Coca-Cola Amatil.
Hi.
Welcome to the Human Element, ladies.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, so look, there's a lot to discuss here, and what I'd really like to talk to, remembering that our audience may be business owners or leaders that potentially haven't been managing their people or holding them to account or having those conversations. I'd really like to start with the first step. Well, first we need to answer some key questions before we start having these conversations and start holding people to account. Vanessa, what would you like? I'm going to open up to you first. What would you like to add to that?
Look, I think performance management is such a critical part of having an outstanding organisation and really having an organisation that achieves its goals, but it often stands in its own way. So one of the things I think is really important with performance management is identifying what that problem is for the organisation that you're trying to solve through performance management. What is it that you're trying to achieve as an organisation, and how can you get the best out of your people through using performance management? I think then what it comes down to is being really clear on how prepared are you to actually differentiate between performance. So often we have these systems in place, we go into things with a great intent, but when it comes down to it, we're not really prepared to have a conversation with someone to say, you're not actually performing to the level we want, you're an average performer, you're doing a good job, and you're actually an outstanding performer. We tend to actually feel like it's easier to bring people into the middle. Yes. So you've got to ask yourself the question, am I really prepared to have the conversation? Am I really prepared to differentiate between my high performers, my average performers and my low performers? Because otherwise you might end up finding yourself going through a process for process's sake that actually doesn't deliver any value from a time perspective in the organisation, but certainly no value to the business. Yeah. So I think knowing that is really important.
Absolutely. Jodi, is there any points that you can add to that?
Yeah, I think that's really true, because having that clarity around, what does success look like, and both from an organisational sense as well as an individual sense, is really important to be able to kind of start that conversation around what differentiates that great performer from perhaps an average or a low performer. So being armed with that information around what does this look like from our organisation sense, and how do we make sure that everybody's clear on in terms of what that actually looks like. It can give you some more confidence to be able to feel more comfortable around having those conversations.